WWE's UK holding company is shutting down and will be shut down completely by the end of this month. How is this going to affect the landscape for the global expansion that Triple H was apparently going to be in charge of, with WWE Japan also shut down and WWE India certainly raising a lot of questions at the moment? Now, the global expansion of WWE is in serious jeopardy right now, as Nick Khan has reached the point at which he begins to shut down non-profitable arms of the WWE overall. This will not be the only thing being shut down. A lot of companies, branches and subsidiaries will be closing over the next few months. Last week we spoke about the closure of WWE's Japan brand company, which has put an end to plans for the launch of NXT Japan and the WWE's intention to compete for fans in the Asian markets. Now, the WWE served notice on their UK branch. From the off, this sounds a little scary, particularly when you examine what else is happening with NXT UK as a brand at the moment. Volta, who lost the championship during last month's takeover, is fielding offers from NXT proper to getting over to the US full time, something that he himself said he wasn't really interested in. Kaylee Ray has already moved full time. In fact, there aren't many people left in NXT UK who've actually been built up by the company. Meiko Satomura is there, of course, but she's not an NXT UK product. Do I think we're going to see NXT UK shut down? No. The closure of the WWE UK holdings does not necessarily mean the end of the NXT UK brand, despite circumstantial hints toward that end. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to happen, but it also doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. NXT UK's profitability has been in question since the launch of the brand though, and this certainly is going to raise questions for someone like Nick Khan, whose job is to make the company as profitable as possible. The idea of it being a developmental arm for the developmental arm doesn't hold true when you examine just how few people have actually come from NXT UK all the way to the main roster. Honestly, isn't it just Rhea Ripley? Pete Dunne never really made it to the main roster apart from one match at Survivor Series against Adam Cole, and Toni Storm's just made it, but is she really? NXT UK also doesn't generate much in terms of ticket sales. Outside of the takeover events, which are usually held at smaller arenas, and the WWE have been planning to host a lot more of those in the coming years, TV tapings have always been sparsely attended at best. Those that I attended were about a third sold. The brand also suffered horribly from its association with several wrestlers who were named in the Speaking Out movement. NXT UK is barely watched, and it's not very popular. If it loses Volta, it's going to lose a lot. Just a lot. This shutdown could be as simple as a shifting of funds, or a consolidation for the sake of tax filings. The WWE has failed to provide information on what money they made from NXT UK last year, and this shutdown means that they might just get away without letting the world by and large know just how unsuccessful the WWE have been across the pond. My question for you is, do you watch NXT UK? And if so, or if not, how much would a loss of that brand affect you or the WWE in general? For me, from where I'm sitting, there'd be no change whatsoever. Jacob says, do you think of all the things shutting down that they might end up cancelling Main Event or 205 Live if they are not profitable? Possibly, possibly not. Main Event doesn't really have to worry about being profitable because of their filming schedule. 205 Live also doesn't really have to worry about that, whereas NXT UK does. It's a very different situation there. Para says, Grizzled Young Vets made it from NXT to NXT UK. Yeah, but that's not main roster though. Dr. Lear says, yes, I love NXT UK. Connor says, I watch it every now and then, but I would not be too bothered. And Michael says, I've watched it very little. It's not a bad show. I just get burnt out with all the content. That basically is Triple H's ideal show. It is all wrestling based, and you get deep dives into wrestling matches and like analysis of wrestling matches on your wrestling show, which is confusing at the very least. It's very confusing. Very confusing.